Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another videos, another paid request. This time for Douglas. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down in the info box over there or over there. I'll get to them as soon as I can. And Douglas had a topic, which is a pretty unfair topic. Canon films versus A24. And I'm like, I wonder which I like more. Is it the company I grew up with ever since I was a kid, and I'm very nostalgic, and I enjoy a lot of their fun, entertaining movies? Or the A24 company that, while they're not, for the most part, personally making it, but they pick them up and release it because they see something in themselves or an appeal to what they usually release, and their taste doesn't usually run into my taste, and why 85-90% of A24 films I really dislike and feel like they're pretentious art house drivel. I mean, if I'm doing the verses, Canon Films did Bloodsport. Canon wins. End of story. Boom. Cue the credits. That's really all I have to do. And say Canon Films did Bloodsport. So you tell me who the winner is. Who did Bloodsport? Was it A24? No. It was Canon Films. But I wrote down some of the films each company released. And I looked at Canon Films. And I know they were not looked at as the top-notch company. As dumb, lame brain action movies is what they were told that they were. On the flip side, so much of these I either like or love, and they did their job well in being entertaining by having either bigger-than-life action stars or fun action sequences or being well-paced and giving people their money's worth, at least in my eyes. Whether it be Death Wish 2, 10 to Midnight, Revenge of the Ninja, American Ninja 1 and 2, the Missing in Action films, and Death Wish 3, Invasion USA, the Delta Force. Whether it be films like Firewalker, Cyborg, whether it be Canon had a hand in Over the Top, because Menem Golan directed it. So you have your films of Chuck Norris, Michael Dudikoff, early Jean-Claude Van Damme, Charles Bronson, stars that most of them people know today. Like people know who Van Damme or Chuck Norris or Charles Bronson. Michael Dudikoff, I know, and maybe you know, but I don't know if the regular person knows who Michael Dudikoff is. But still, when they try to push outside the comfort zone with the Superman 4 or things of that nature, it didn't quite work out. I even like the lesser-known films like Hellbound and Street Night. Street Night with Jeff Speakman, Hellbound with Chuck Norris. 50-50 with Peter Weller and Robert Hayes. I think that's a fun film. Love Cyborg. Firewalker, my favorite Chuck Norris movie. So, I mean, it's a hell of a list. But when I looked at A24 films, Under the Skin, I believe that was Scarlett Johansson, found it very, very boring with little, next to nothing happening for a good chunk of the film. Tusk, awful, silly Kevin Smith movie about a guy who's a prick and then someone's turning him into a walrus. It wasn't horrific, it wasn't scary, and I don't think it was funny. The Witch, I know people praise it. When the characters in that movie, I could barely understand what the hell they were saying, what the hell they were talking about. I'm like, do I need subtitles for this? Well, supposedly they're speaking English, but I can't tell what the hell they're saying. And I'm like, what scenes am I supposed to be scared about? What is supposed to be scary about this movie? I don't know. Green Room, I found a bit disappointing. Free Fire was there. It Comes at Night. Nothing came at night. Especially not me. Horrible movie. Again, incredibly... A lot of this is like having an incredibly boring, slow-paced film where not much happens. And there could be exceptions to the rule that I don't mind that. In a Violent Night, which came out recently, didn't mind that film. But you had some, nice gore and like the look of the killer, and I got the gimmick and I understood it. And there's a couple A24 released uncut gems with Adam Sandler I liked. The Disaster Artist with James Franco I liked. Fictional account of making the movie The Room. Locke with Tom Hardy. I did not mind that film. The Iron Claw. Thought that was a pretty good one. I think they had a hand in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I did enjoy that. So there's a couple I enjoyed, but with every couple it's Killing of a Sacred Deer with Colin... Is it Colin Farrell? I hated that movie. Thought that was absolutely awful and boring. Hereditary, Midsommar. One of the things kill me about Midsommar, I mean, we just saw a guy jump off and die. So what should we talk about for the next 5 minutes? Who stole or who cheated on whose thesis paper? I forget if it was stolen or cheated. I forget the details, but it was about a thesis paper. And I'm like, you just saw a guy die. Like a guy was pushed off a cliff dead. Is this really what the conversation should be? It's stuff like that. Like, so many of the people in these movies of A24, they don't act like human beings. Whether it be films like Men or Midsommar, even bits of Hereditary, Killing of a Sacred Deer. I'm like, why do these people not act like what human beings would actually act like? Beau Was Afraid talked about pretentiousness with the finale where Joaquin Phoenix goes up to an attic or something and there's like a penis monster. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Bodies, bodies, bodies. X. Was not a fan of X. Tragedy of Macbeth, I thought was very boring. The Lighthouse, if you want to see the guy from Twilight, the guy from the Batman, look up and Willem Dafoe is jerking the gherkin and ready to cream on Batman's face. There's your movie. Again, just boring, pretentious stuff. I'm just sitting there going, I know people like these and praise these. It ain't for me. It ain't for me. Again, Locke, Disaster Artist, Uncut Gems, The Iron Claw, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Maybe In a Violent Night was A24. I can't remember though. Don't quote me on that. But there's some I liked. But a good chunk of it, no. Not for me. And maybe that's why Douglas did this, because they're total opposites. Pretentious and the opposite of pretentious. Outrageous. Outrageous versus pretentious. I'll take outrageous any day. Also, of course, there's absolutely room in the world for serious affairs and movies, of course. Films like The Shawshank Redemption, Mississippi Burning, and Justice for All the President's Men, did that very well. 12 Angry Men, both versions, did that very well. But for me, and I think for a lot of people, our lives get upended, distraught, stressed. You just want to escape and have fun. And films like the Canon films, they escaped and had fun. And I know there's background noise there. Apparently it's A24, maybe it's the witch from A24 going trying to spit at me. But no, I mean, it's the people, like there's some people, like the higher people on YouTube who get the million views and the critics. It's like they thumb their nose at escapism. Oh, escapism is silly, it's cheesy, it's goofy. Yeah, we like it because it's so stupid. Whatever the case. But at the same time, I get that where these films can be silly, but at the same time, I guess for me it's more endearing And I looked at what their purpose was. It's, wow, this is badass. And I looked at them as, wow, that was badass. That was the baddest thing that guy did. Chuck Norris beat the hell out of everybody in that bar, while Lucy Gossett Jr. is cheering on in Firewalker. I love it. Wow, Charles Bronson got a bazooka and blew that guy out the window in Death Wish 3. Yeah. Bloodsport, Van Damme did those 360 hurricane kicks and beat the hell out of Bolo Yun. Alright. And it feels like that's what we're missing a lot in nowadays. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.